I'm Matt Austin. Ginger is on assignment. We begin with a check of your forecast with meteorologist Samara Kokinos.
Thank you, Matt. And as we take a live view right now, everything is starting to really take shape as those east and west coast sea breezes collide. And we have that severe thunderstorm warning for northern Volusia County, which includes Pearson, going back into Putnam County as well. An extended severe thunderstorm warning through 6:45 tonight. That hail core in the hot pink there right over Pearson now. Still moving to the east at about 15 miles per hour, capable of producing coin-size hail. So be careful out there when you definitely are going to start to hear it, or you could hear it. Lots of lightning and definitely heavy rain stretching all the way back down just to the west of DeLand as well as Orange City. We said that those thunderstorms riding that west coast sea breeze would collide with that east coast sea breeze around that Lake County, Orange County line. And that's exactly what's taken shape. We still have a lot of thunderstorms to deal with just to the east of Mount Dora and over portions of Ocoee, just to the north of Ocoee, headed toward Altamont. All of this whole stretch here that you see highlighted in the yellow, all of that is capable of producing wind gusts up near 55 miles per hour, which could be damaging, in addition to heavy rain, a lot of lightning, and the potential to see some small hail. We can't completely rule that out tonight. So when we look at a bigger view of this radar, notice that we're still dealing with some thunderstorms also back over near Claremont and back over in Polk County that will eventually make their way into Osceola County. I'll be back to pinpoint everything you need to know for the rest of tonight, as well as your rain chances and the possible to see some more strong thunderstorms in the upcoming work week in just a few minutes. Matt?
All right, Samara, thank you. We have something just into our newsroom here. A man who stole money from hurricane victims while posing as a contractor just learned he'll be spending the next 8 years in prison. Steve Parker gained notoriety for fixing homes after Hurricane Ian, but detectives eventually found he wasn't a licensed contractor. Prosecutors say he did minimal work, left homes unlivable in some cases, and stole tens of thousands of dollars. He pleaded no contest to 12 felony counts and was adjudicated guilty today at his sentencing. In addition to prison time, Parker faces 22 years of probation. He cannot enter any direct contracts for construction work, and he cannot contact his victims. DeLand police on high alert tonight after a man opened fire at a DeLand bar. Police say it was all over a $5 beer. It's also the second shooting at McCabe's bar in a month. The first time a man was killed. Police are now beefing up patrols in the area. As News 6's Molly Reed found out, the owner of the property is forcing the bar owner to make some changes.
Police say this second shooting happened in the parking lot here of McCabe's. Shots were fired, but thankfully no one was hit. Surveillance camera outside of the bar actually captured the entire thing.
Whatever their dispute was over this $5 drink, it's just ridiculous to think that it ended up in a person nearly losing their life.
The video shows the suspect pulled a gun from a satchel outside the bar. Police found and arrested 55-year-old Calvin Gilbert the next day.
The victim and Gilbert had been drinking inside the bar. Although they did not know each other previously, they got into an argument around closing time, and Gilbert demanded repayment for a beer.
Now, because this was the second shooting at this bar here in 1 month, police say they actually got a hold of the strip mall's owner. That owner told police that McCabe's is actually in violation of their lease agreement because of this activity. They said that McCabe's is going to have to change some things up, like closing earlier and hiring security if they want to stay open here.
This incident is not at all related to the first incident. There's no correlation between the two of those incidents.
Now, the first shooting here was back on May 3rd. Police say there was a fight between two groups leading up to the shooting. One person who was shot died. A bartender was also hit trying to break up the fight, but lived. 24-year-old Avante Williams was arrested and charged with murder.
And we have ongoing patrols. We have a special enforcement team that's been out since the homicide, that's been working extra details and evenings along with our partners with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office.
Now, the chief tells us before these two shootings, there really had not been any other incidents at this bar here. Still, the chief says they got a hold of the state asking it to investigate the bar's liquor license. In DeLand, Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed, News 6.
Tavares police say 8 cars were broken into on Saturday where thieves got their hands on 2 pistols and a checkbook. The break-ins all happened in the Elmwood subdivision. As News 6's Emily McLeod shows us, people stealing guns out of unlocked cars is an issue impacting communities across Central Florida.
People who live in the Elmwood subdivision say it's the type of neighborhood where people look out for each other and say it's generally very safe. But on Saturday, the Tavares Police Department says it was the location of 8 car break-ins where 2 guns and a checkbook were stolen.
Out of the cars that were broken into, 2 pistols were taken.
That's bad news.
William Tom Sr. and his wife have lived in the Elmwood subdivision for almost 3 years. He says they've never experienced car break-ins like this, but says it doesn't change his perception of his neighborhood.
You can't be up all night long and watch things. You know, even if we had a police cruiser come through here, he can only see what he sees.
The Tavares Police Department put out a warning about a, quote, concerning uptick of car break-ins, encouraging people to make sure their doors are locked.
Criminals, unfortunately, are opportunists, so they do tend to go for unlocked vehicles that maybe you forgot to lock up before going inside.
But this isn't only happening in the Elmwood neighborhood here in Tavares. Trooper Steve recently did a ride-along with Ormond Beach Police Chief Jesse Godfrey, who says these types of crimes are one of the biggest issues they deal with.
We've always had a problem with our citizens not locking their car doors and leaving valuables in their car.
Okay.
So we'll call those car breaks.
Okay.
But the thing that drives us nuts about car breaks is they also leave their guns in their cars.
And it's not just Central Florida. Guns being stolen out of cars is a problem nationally, too. According to Everytown research, in cities that report crime data to the FBI, on average, at least 1 gun is stolen from a car every 9 minutes.
What's your message to anybody living in the Tavares community now that we've had these break-ins?
Don't get discouraged about our community or how safe it is. It's, again, not uncommon. Just make sure you're being vigilant of your surroundings and making sure your stuff is locked up at night.
In Tavares, Emily McLeod, News 6.
Well, 4 months into the job, Seminole County Supervisor of Elections is laying it all on the table. She recently told commissioners a list of concerns stemming from an internal audit. Today, she sat down with our own Catherine Silver to discuss what she's discovered and what it says about the office she's now running.
All of our voting day are our voting supplies.
News 6 was first to speak with new Supervisor of Elections Amy Pennick when she took office in January. She told us about the need for more space, more money. But before she could even present her budget to commissioners this month, she shared the findings from an internal review.
We were not in records retention compliance. We had missing or no employee HR files. We had missing contracts. We had missing emails.
This is quite a list.
It runs the gamut.
Pennick stepped into the role as supervisor with previous experience as a forensic accountant. The previous supervisor, Chris Anderson, was backed by voters in 2020, but lost the primary in August.
How do you think some of these things happened?
Probably just a lack of not having run a business before. When you misfile something or don't do something, how it affects the rest of the processes in the office.
Pennick says one of the biggest concerns, a felon requesting to get his voting rights restored, never received a response from the elections office.
So he didn't get his administrative hearing and a decision in the time to either be able to or not be able to vote in the August and November election of last year.
And what was the result of that?
It's confidential because it's a voter's rights. But what we did was we went ahead and started the process over.
Pennick says they also had to do 92 W-2 corrections on poll workers because of inaccurate processing. They can't e-verify every poll worker they've hired, which is a federal regulation. And there's numerous issues with candidate financial records, a couple which have resulted in fines.
Whether it happened under your watch or not, you're now in this role. Where do you go from here?
Onwards and upwards. I think that's the importance of doing that audit, was just to lay it all out, let the staff know that this is what we did, this is what we found, and this is not acceptable in this office.
Another external audit is underway, and I'm told it should be done in the next month or so. I also reached out to the former supervisor, Chris Anderson. He said the 2024 presidential election cycle was completed successfully. You can read his full statement on clickorlando.com. I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
Well, today the governor signed a bill in Apopka allowing people to use gold or silver coins to pay for bills. He says it's a way for people to have financial independence from the federal government. News 6's Laverne McGee explains.
Most of us are used to paying for things with our debit or credit card or using cash. But today I was there when Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill to make it legal to use gold and silver for payment.
Gold's gone up big time.
Right now, gold is about $3,000 an ounce. Kevin Freeman is the economist who brought the idea to the governor.
I mean, are you talking about going to McDonald's and paying for your hamburger with
100%? Absolutely. You can pay for your McDonald's hamburger using a debit card. So people will have gold and silver on deposit in a Florida approved depository. They'll issue a debit card, and if I spend a certain amount of gold out of my account to buy my McDonald's hamburger, McDonald's will either get US dollars, which they can, or they'll get gold.
I came to an area Walmart to see if people would give me their opinion on whether or not they would want to shop with gold or silver. We had mixed reactions.
I met Isaac, who was buying a slushy machine for his small business, who was very enthusiastic about using gold.
Will you be okay with people paying you in gold?
Oh, yeah. That's just, like I said, it's better than money sometimes.
A woman named Jane that I met buying snacks was hesitant about the idea.
They had 3 sizes, and I believe this one was $6.
So can you imagine like buying your watermelon for $6 in gold?
I mean, I just don't know enough about it. I don't trust the government anymore.
Governor DeSantis says he believes this is the future.
It's not just an investment, it'll be something that you're going to be able to use, and it's something that is very likely to hold its value, certainly compared to fiat currency.
Laverne McGee, News 6.
Well, a life hack for hurricane season, propane never goes bad. News 6 anchor Eric Von Anken tells us all we need to know about this handy fuel source. First, though, how important are hurricane hunters when it comes to forecasting a storm? We're checking out their role in delivering accurate forecasts to you. You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're covering Titusville, Horizon West, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Tuesday evening traffic alert. We're going to see those southbound delays overnight, depending on weather, but just make sure you're paying attention. 417 at Lee Vista. We are scheduled for a complete closure. Same thing out here, westbound I-4 at Kirkman. But a lot of those PM storms coming through could delay that. But either way, you need to make sure you're paying attention. I'm Trooper Steve with the News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely. I'll catch you in the morning.
Well, you hear about them every hurricane season, the hurricane hunters. But did you know each mission they fly impacts you directly? News 6 meteorologist Jonathan Kagas got a sneak peek at how these missions get valuable information to you.
It's like going down like the worst dirt road, bumpy dirt road you could do at 210 miles an hour with your eyes closed.
That's just one of the ways second-year Hurricane Hunter pilot Lieutenant Commander Jacob Ellis describes what it feels like to fly through a hurricane.
We are the observation, and we drop roughly 40 drops per flight. So now you're having actually 40 weather balloons go into a numerical model.
So this is where we actually drop these dropsons out of the aircraft through the tube here. These collect temperature, pressure, humidity, wind speed, wind direction as they follow the surface.
Stephen Paul is responsible for preparing and launching data collecting dropsons from the plane into the storm. That data collected from those dropsons is not only analyzed by forecasters, but also goes right into the forecast models, significantly improving their accuracy.
The accuracy of the forecast goes up by 10 to 15% with a P3 having flown through the storm regularly.
To put those numbers in perspective, we'll go back to Hurricane Milton and give you this example. This was when Milton just became a tropical depression. All of those lines represent different computer models that we have at our arsenal to forecast these systems. This is what the models looked like prior to getting Hurricane Hunter planes in the storm. You see the spread, meaning that we have more outcomes of the possibilities of where landfall is going to occur. Now we'll look after a full day of missions. Several missions have already taken place. Still some spread as you get towards the Florida Peninsula, but the lines, those models converging a little bit, shorter in its life. Now look at this. After 2 days of Hurricane Hunter missions dropping all of their instruments into the storm, look how tight those lines are. That means we have a high model consensus and high confidence of where the storm is going because of that data. In addition to the NOAA Hurricane Hunters collecting critical information on individual storms, they also participate in important research missions. Why is the research so vital to going forward? That's an important part of what you guys do.
If one storm forms and goes the entire length of the Atlantic, why didn't the other? So that is research will help us answer that question.
And with that research will come a better understanding of how these storms form and behave, which ultimately means better forecasts for you.
The public, the nation, scientific community, I think everybody has something to gain out of it.
Very cool stuff. All right, let's take a live look at gorgeous Mount Dora out there. Great place to hang out this week. You might be dodging some storms here and there, though. We have meteorologist Samara Kokinos joining me at the desk. Where are we? Are the sea breezes starting to calm down a little bit?
No.
Of course not.
They're button heads. That's exactly what happens this time of day. You know, they start to really collide, and then we see that just line of collision storms really start to bubble up on the radar. So when we look at the activity, it hasn't really quite reached into the Osceola County area just like, or Brevard even. I mean, there was a few showers in the Brevard County area earlier today, but all the action seems to be just around the metro and to the north. So when we take a look at this particular line here, this big, basically what it is a special weather statement. So as we zoom in a little bit tighter to this cluster of storms, you'll notice that they extend all the way from Pearson, just south of Crescent City, so Seville, Pearson, going into Barberville, DeLand, just to the west of Orange City still, but definitely this line starting to really come together. Notice that we see deep pinks here just to the west of DeLand. We saw that near Pearson. Those are potential hail cores. So this particular line of storms definitely has the potential to produce some small hail in addition to possibly some damaging wind gusts up near 50, 55 miles per hour, in addition to all this heavy rain and abundant lightning. Now we keep zooming down and you'll notice that Claremont's starting to clear out a little bit, Leesburg on the way out too, but Dade City and Zephyr Hills, all of this action is headed to the east. So we will eventually see that collision there along the I-4 corridor just to the west of Kissimmee, and then it it'll, of course, follow suit there. It's going to take a little bit of time for it to do that, but it will definitely fall into place. I'll show you just how long in just a minute. But live view from our Light Orlando camera, delivering hope together. Right now, downtown Orlando, you're starting to see those clouds really thickening up, getting dark. We'll definitely see some rain and some even possibly some lightning here shortly. Orlando, you're at 83 right now. Sanford, good evening to you at 86. Daytona Beach, you're at 84. Melbourne, 82 degrees. Let me walk you hour by hour through the rest of tonight. We start the clock here at 6. Notice that we're still dealing with this line of thunderstorms all the way through the metro down into Kissimmee. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're going to be dealing with this action, I think, within the next hour or two. Okay, it hasn't fired up just yet, but it's definitely going to be in that area. By about 8, starting to wind down a little bit, and then it turns quiet in the overnight hours, just like it has been. Now, keep in mind, we're still going to see triple-digit heat indices for the next couple of days. Above average heat continues. A few strong storms are possible late week with this approaching front that, depending on where it kind of lands, it could be a little bit cooler this weekend. Okay, we're talking possibly mid to upper 80s, and the rain department definitely will shift a little bit too. So let me show you tomorrow. We start the day partly to mostly sunny and muggy start to the day. We're heating up quickly to near 90 by noon, and we'll start to see some showers start to pop up or so in the afternoon, picking up the intensity with the sea breeze collisions once again being driven by that west coast sea breeze and firing up near that I-4 corridor going to the east after 6 o'clock in the evening. So overall, your range severe risk for Thursday is a 1 out of 5 north of the Kissimmee area. It has everything to do with this next front that'll be getting closer and closer as we get closer to the weekend. And that's where it's really going to ramp up the storm severity for Thursday, possibly Friday going into Saturday. So keep that in mind. Your overnight lows, here you go.
Your forecast is sponsored by the Florida Lottery.
Partly cloudy with lows in the mid to lower 70s. And as we look at the 7-day forecast, you'll notice that the heat continues with a high near 93 tomorrow, as well as Thursday. By the weekend, though, look at the change there. Depending on where that front lands, Matt, we could see it if it's right over Orlando. It may not, it'll still be in the upper 80s. But if it goes a little bit to our south, we could be talking about the mid 80s.
I know what I'm cheering for.
I know, that's
Send
right.
it south. Keep streaming. We'll be right back.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos.
And I'm Justin Mormith. Coming up tomorrow, getting ready for hurricane season.
I'll be live on the coast, giving you an up-close look at how things stand. Nearly 3 years of back-to-back hurricanes caused major damage.
Plus, a new affordable housing option for people in Orlando. We'll see it for News 6 mornings starting at 6.
The main reason that you want to try and pick up all of your hurricane supplies now. Don't you have a Sawzall, Jeff? Okay, maybe not all. The main reason you want to try and pick up almost all of your hurricane supplies now before a storm is because it's all here, all in one place, all in stock. Like always, when a storm gets close, everything is flying off the shelves, and you may not get what you need. But you're probably saying to yourself right now, hold on, handy newsman and crafty cameraman Jeff. There's one thing that I can't buy ahead of time. I can't buy it until a storm actually gets close. This, right? When everybody rushes to the gas pumps at the same time, the lines get long and the gas runs out. But you can fill up your cans right now. Here's your first house hack. Use ethanol-free gas. Not 10%, not E85. It's got to say ethanol-free. And that gas lasts 6 months. So you can keep the gas in your garage, and then after the season, if there is no storm, you can use the gas for something else. Speaking of gas, a lot of people like to wait till it's too late to try and fill up their propane tanks. Propane, though, never goes bad, ever. So you can fill it up whenever you want. But here's the thing you need to know. This is another house hack. Some tanks are not refillable. Older tanks are definitely iffy. So this is Michael, the owner of Ace Hardware here in Sanford. And Michael, you wouldn't touch this tank.
That is correct. So this tank here, all tanks are required to be within 12 years of their manufacture date.
And you know that because it's stamped on it.
That's correct. This tank is not only out of date, but the rest of it is not legible. We have to be able to read the size of the tank and the date for it to be filled properly.
And this one also has a ton of rust. You don't like that.
That's the other problem there. When they look like this, they are also not safe to be filled.
We know some people like to exchange their propane tanks. That's fine, except no, if you do that, you don't get a new one.
Correct.
And if you're not sure, just bring it up here to Ace, and Michael or one of the people here will tell you, and if they can't fill it, they'll get you a new one. You got plenty.
Absolutely.
Before hurricane season.
Come and see us ahead of time.
Ahead of time. We're getting results at home. I'm Eric Von Anken here in Sanford, getting results News 6.
Thank you for watching News 6 at 6:30. Stream News 6 online anytime on your News 6 Plus Smart TV app. Remember, we break news at clickorlando.com. We'll see you at 11 o'clock.